Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and today's topic is sweetening spells. Today we will cover honey jar spells, sugar bowl spells, things like that. So first of all, what is a sweetening spell? A sweetening spell is a spell designed to get someone to like you more, to be sweeter to you. For example, let's say that you have a boss that just won't leave you alone. And your boss is just riding you. You know he or she hates you and is just dying to fire you. That's a case where a sweetening would cause him or her to like you more, to appreciate you. Or you may have a couple that are bickering back and forth and fighting every day. This could be a way to get the couple to be a little sweeter towards each other. It could be used to sweeten a judge. Anytime that someone is just stern and cold and just hates you for no reason. We all deal with people like that, right? If someone's just stern and just hates you and it just has it in for you, this is a really mild form of spell work. Mild because all you're doing is just trying to get them to open up to you, to like you more, so that the couple that are fighting all the time may rekindle that romance they had. A boss that has it in for you for no apparent reason just wants to ruin your life. That your boss may look on you with favor. Things like that. So that is what a sweetening spell is. And today we're going to cover how this works. How do you perform a sweetening? And we will go over several different methods. And we're going to break this spell work down and how it works and how you could apply it in your life. So, today's topic is sweetening spells. And like I said, there's many different forms. Now, previously I talked about how important it is to have a link to the target. So a link to the target. In this case, you will have what you call a name paper. So you just have like a square of paper, okay, piece of paper, and you're going to write that person's name 9 times, 3 times, whatever works. You're going to create a name square. Now this is a link with the target, okay? So let's say that I have a next door neighbor that just hates me for no reason. You know, I have my buddies over, we're drinking beer and everything, and he calls the cops because we're loud. We didn't do anything. And then it's like my next door neighbor just hates me. And he's always causing problems, okay? Let's say that my next door neighbor that just has it in for me, his name is Bob Smith. Okay? So I'm going to write his name 9 times. Bob Smith. This is your name paper. Okay? And this is pretty important. Bob Smith. And really focus your mind on this person. Like, you really have to focus your intent in your mind. You may imagine or visualize the person as you trace their name. You have to feel this person, think of them, have your emotions towards them, have your whole mind focus on Bob Smith or whoever it is. Bob Smith. And this is a name paper is a link that you'll use a lot. Okay, in this tradition. Bob Smith. Bob Smith. Bob Smith. Okay, let's see. Well, it's 6 times. Let's say it's 9 times. And then you would turn the paper and write your name over the target's name. So my next door neighbor that's a pain in the ass, always bugging me, his name's Bob Smith. I don't know why he hates me so much. All I want him to do is just to open up and be a little nicer. I'm tired of all this drama. He's hurting me, my family, you know, that type of thing. So you'll turn the paper. I can't really turn the board, but you would write your name over his. I'm just going to put Taliesin, because this is just an example. Taliesin. You turn the paper, write your name over his or her name 9 times. Sorry this is taking a moment. Okay, so you got your name paper. You write your target's name 9 times or whatever, and you write your name over them, okay? Because you're affecting that person. Now, and I could already see some people saying, what about the Wiccan Reed? And things like that. That concept does not apply to the system of magic. Okay, that type of concepts of ethics does not really apply here. In Hoodoo, which is what this is, ethics is really left up to the individual. You have to follow your own conscience. But you also have to consider that someone is being unjust. They are hurting you, who is innocent. So is it really a problem to just get them to be sweeter to you? Is that too manipulative? So people from different magic traditions have different ideas. This is Hoodoo or Conjure, which is African American folk magic, practiced all over the United States, in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Mississippi, all over the southern United States. This is traditional. And one thing that's cool for Hoodoo is that it is traditionally done here. Now some people may write around this a short command, such as favor me, favor me, favor me, or like me, like me, like me, or give me the promotion, give me the whatever, okay? So this is the most important idea to have down, is the name paper. This is essential to understanding how to apply this to different types of sweetenings. So you have a link to the target, okay, which is your name paper, okay? This is essential. Now, not all people use name papers, okay? I'm not saying it's essential to the tradition, but this is an important idea. It's effective, okay? So this is your link to the target, and it's also an expression of your desire. Link to the target is, okay, first of all, you have your name paper. Okay? Now, in order to really link the sweetening spell to the person, you're going to need some personal concerns. Okay? Now, what are personal concerns? Personal concerns is something that has that person's energy in it. It could be some hair clippings, some fingernail clippings. It could be a shred of clothing that they wore a lot. It is a physical item that has a link with that person's energy into it. This is essential. Personal concerns. Okay? Now, these two things together will link your sweetening spell to the target. By the way, this is the most recent sweetening that I did, and I did it for a client. This is a honey jar spell. With permission, I am sharing this. Okay. So anyways, this is a honey jar that I did most recently. And as you can see, there is the name paper in the honey jar. And this is candle wax that I had burned. Okay, so there's the name paper that I'm describing inside the jar of honey. Okay. Personal concerns are hair, fingernails, things like that. I understand that may be hard to get. You can't exactly go up to your next door neighbor and just yank a hair out of their head. I get that. It's hard to get, but try to get something. A shred of clothing that they owned. If you really have to, then get a picture. In fact, if that's all you can get, then your name paper may be done on the back of their picture. Okay, and you may write their name and their date of birth at the bottom. Something has to link the spell to the person. And a picture or a name is not seen as quite effective. Because although it's a representation, a picture, a name, that's great. But it doesn't have their energy, such as hair, fingernail clippings, a shred of clothing, a piece of jewelry, which you may not put in a name paper like this. But my point is something that has that person's energy. This is your link to the target. You will put the personal concerns in the name paper. You may put some pieces of hair in the name paper. And then you add herbs that correspond to your desire. If it's to reconcile two lovers, then you would use love herbs such as damiana, coriander, things like that, rose petals, Adam and Eve root. You would use love herbs. If it's your boss that's being a pain in the ass, then you may use herbs that have to do with work, prosperity. If you want your boss to give you a promotion, whatever, then to favor you, then you would probably use prosperity herbs. Okay. Whatever the case may be. If it's a lawsuit, you would use law or legal herbs. So the herbs represent your desire and have the occult properties of the herbs in it. So, at its most basic, and this is the most essential thing to understand, you have a name paper, okay? You have a name paper with that person's personal concerns and the specific herbs you are using. So, you may have this name paper with your name, his name or her name on it, and then your name over it. Okay, inside this name paper that I showed you earlier, you would add some of their hair, fingernails, whatever, and then you would add whatever herbs into the paper. And then you take that piece of paper and you fold it towards you as you state your desire. Favor me. Turn the paper. Fold towards you. When you fold towards you, you are bringing in. When you fold away from you, you're diminishing. In this case, you're bringing in. Like me more. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. Whatever. Until you can't fold that paper anymore. Now with the name paper, you can do several things with this. Now we get to specific spells. A sugar bowl. You could take the name paper, fold it up with their hair, whatever the herbs, and you can put this at the bottom of a bowl of sugar. You might want to really tightly pack the packet name paper because you don't want hair in your sugar. That would be gross. Also, be careful of toxic herbs. You don't want poisonous herbs in your sugar. But basically, you take that folded name paper, you put it at the bottom of a sugar bowl. And you may burn candles around this and recite psalms, prayers, pray over it, whatever. Put your energy into the sugar bowl. Then that sugar could be used to bake some cookies and feed it to your next door neighbor or whatever. Bake a cake with that sugar and give some to your boss. Okay, So you're putting your energy, the spell, into a food item that you will feed to the person that you want to open up to you more. Here, I got you some cookies. And as they eat it, the energy of the spell goes into them. And that's how you use a sugar bowl. Now, you may just put this at the bottom of a sugar bowl, and let's say that it's a peaceful home spell. That's another thing about sweetening. Let's say that the members of the house are always fighting and bickering and arguing. Hell, there's a hell raising every day. You get tired of it eventually. So you may get a piece of hair from each family member, some peaceful herbs, such as borage, rosemary, what are some others? Whatever. You put it in, you write each family member's name, and then you may turn it and write each family member's name again. Then you put in the peace or loving family herbs, their hair, fold it up, put it in a jar of sugar. Now, if you burn candles around it, you have candle color symbolism. Peace is the color blue, okay? So you may take a needle and write peaceful home, peaceful home. You're going to carve your desire around the candle, peaceful home, all the way around it, like a barber pole. And then you may anoint this with an oil for peace, which you get by heating the herbs in oil. Peaceful home oil. And then you may burn these around the sugar bowl and recite the 23rd Psalm, whatever, pray over it. And when these candles burn down, use the sugar to bake cookies. Now, honey jars. Honey jars. These are often associated with love spells, and that's just not the case. This is associated with the love work that I did to reconcile two lovers. And again, I'm posting this with permission. But you can do a peaceful home honey jar. You simply take the name paper, you stick it in a jar of honey, and that's it. And people like to burn candles on top of their honey jars. Now you're going to need a metal lid because you don't want to burn candles on plastic. Common sense, right? A metal lid. And you would use blue candles and burn this for 7 days in a row. A candle, burn it down, 7 days in a row. And then you may burn a candle on it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, why those 3 days? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Why? Because Mondays are connected to emotions, the moon, family. Wednesday is also good for communication, things like that. And Friday is connected to Venus, which is the goddess of love. So these 3 days have an energy conducive to sweetening. You do not do it on a Tuesday, because Tuesday is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the god of war. Common sense, right? So, Saturday is a baleful influence, Saturn. Sunday, this is usually influenced by Christianity. Most people go to church. It's just one way of doing it. Now, I don't want to go all over the damn place in this video too much, but I will say there are different ways of doing this. The way I'm describing is not the way. There are conjure practitioners that it's been passed down in their family from generation to generation, and they may disagree with what I'm saying. They may have a different way. But this is one traditional way to do hoodoo. Okay? So, with a honey jar, let's say you're trying to sweeten. Let's say your girlfriend is always just rude and hateful to you. No reason. You're good to her. You may take some of her hair, put it in a name paper with love herbs, fold that up, put it in a honey jar, and then you may take a red candle, red is symbol of love, and write her name around it. Let's say her name is Susie Smith. Susie Smith, Susie Smith, and you will visualize her, Susie Smith. And then you'll take that candle and you'll visualize her being kind to you. And you push that energy, that desire into the candle. You focus on your desire and you push that energy into the candle. You will anoint it in love oil and burn this on the honey jar. It's that simple. Now, honey jars can be ongoing. These can be kept for years, burning candles on them as needed. Or, whenever you're satisfied, you could bury this in your yard. Now, burial in the yard represents burial in your life, in a sense, and this will continue to work. This is not just disposal of spell remains. This is a form of laying a trick. Okay? So, sugar bowls, put the name paper in a bowl of sugar, burn candles around it, pray, put your energy in the sugar, bake some cookies and give it to them. Honey jars, stick the name paper that I mentioned with their hair and herbs in a jar of honey, burn some candles on it, recite some prayers. There's a very simple spell that I have found on... I think I got this one off Lucky Mojo. This one is very simple. You take a saucer and you take a white candle, just a general white candle, and you take some syrup. Syrup is sweet. And you put a ring around the saucer and syrup. You burn a candle on their name paper. It's that easy. A saucer, ring of syrup for sweetness, put their name paper, burn a white candle on it. It's that easy. So honey, sugar, syrup, molasses, these things are sweet. And the symbolism is being sweet to someone. So this is very simple. You may burn a brown candle for a legal case, a red candle for love, blue. So that is basically it. Okay, so that's basically it. There are 3 things to consider. Okay, you have your name paper. Your name paper has personal concerns and the herbs symbolizing your desire. Fold it up, put it in a bowl of sugar or a jar of honey, and then you pray over it, whatever. And that, at its most basic, is how to do a sweetening spell. Honey jars, whatever you want to do. And that is basically it. And this video is actually by request. I won't mention the name, but anyways. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for joining me, and see y'all next time. Have a great day, y'all.